very right time. This is the right opportunity and moment for you to grow with us this evening. My name is Myra Ferreira, your executive sales director based in Tampa, Florida. And tonight we get to recharge and connect with some incredible details on how to continue growing along this journey. If this is the very first time you're connected to our team training, or if you've just joined the team this evening, welcome to Team Relentless. We are so thrilled to have you connected here and on board, and trust and believe this is a process. So for our call tonight, the first thing we're going to get into is recognizing those individuals that are going above and beyond, just blessing a lot of individuals, taking this opportunity very seriously, moving forward, transforming lives. And that starts off with recognition, right? We want to go ahead and give a big, huge salute to those individuals who have actually topped the charts across our entire Team Relentless nationwide. That means they've come in within the top 10 positions amongst our entire Team Relentless, which is by way of our leadership with Xavier Marrero. So I'm going to start off with our top UCES Customer Protection Plan membership sales. That begins with the first spot held by Xandra Valles. Congratulations to her. Bruno Floridor, as well as Reza Ortero, followed by Anthony Winters, Malcolm McLeod, Sally Alvarez, Cedric Williams, Anthony Kelly, Stephanie Lopez, and Dr. Arnold Bogarty. So light it up in the chat for them. Definitely give them a huge congratulations. That just means they're rocking it out already. Placed within the top 10 of our entire team nationwide. So that means they're doing big things, helping a bunch of people make a lot of great success happen for them financially. Moving on to our very next top 10 producers selling list, and that is for our top personal sales production throughout the entire Team Relentless. Our first position held by none other than Boss Lady Reza Ortero, Mr. Bruno Floridor, next Xandra Valles, Dr. Arnold Bogarty, Anthony Winters, Stephanie Lopez, Anthony Kelly, David Marquez, BG Quinones, and Bethany Roy. So again, definitely sending them a virtual congrats and applause. Light it up in the chat for them. Make sure you big it up and say hello and congrats to what they're doing. They're just going above and beyond. And again, this is amongst our entire team. That's a big deal, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're going to go to our last but not least, the top recruiters for new agent enrollments. So these are individuals who are topping within the top 10 positions for welcoming those new individuals to transform our lives, joining the team, growing our family, growing an impact. And y'all already know the amazing perks of what it is to build this thing. So our first position goes recognizing Ms. Xandra Valles, followed by Reza Ortero. Next, Bruno Floridor, Evelyn Rivera Rosa, Austin Chevrolet, Luis Rodriguez, Rob Santiago, Genesis Diaz, Elijah McNeil, and Newton Avaland. So again, huge congratulations to each and every one of those individuals topping the charts. That just means you're making an impact. It is being felt. You've achieved that position, and we want to salute you, congratulate you, and of course, acknowledge you. Now, this following individuals, I have the honor to go ahead and introduce. Let me make sure I can mute any other line that, there you go, perfect. As we were, I get to introduce tonight's very first trainer for this evening. Now, I met this gentleman by way of this opportunity, but really both he and I have the same person to thank for having introduced us to this. But all that I've ever heard about this gentleman has made me hold him in such high regards. He's always been about his business. He got started with this, maybe a little similar to me. He wasn't necessarily looking for another income opportunity, but I know that the strength of the bond that he has built and has always had with our Senior Vice President, Mr. Xavier Marrero, had a lot to do with him being welcome to taking this on as something to transform his life financially. So today he is not only our vice president with this opportunity, he gets to be a trainer with our leadership team. He gets to pour back into us. And really over time, I'm telling you, he's someone that has been true, tested, and proven throughout the course of this journey and growing. Again, right beside none other than our very own SVP, Xavier Marrero. And I'll tell you, I've seen him grow, be focused on this. And I'll tell you right now, you want to give yourself the opportunity to learn from this individual. Be ready with a notepad and a pen to take down some information and grow with us on this journey tonight. So he topped actually on 2 out of those 3 charts. So trust and believe this is someone you want to listen to, because there's something we'll be able to learn from and grow. Now, none other than Vice President, Mr. Anthony Kelly. Can you hear me, and are you connected tonight?
I sure am. Sure am. I want to take this time, give it back to Miss Maya. Sorry, messing up your name. But Myra. So yes, everybody, want to thank you for first joining us, being on this. You definitely don't want to miss this information. I just feel privileged to even be able to share the platform with Mr. Alfred Nixon. This guy, man, hey, want to also give it back to Xavier, phenomenal mentor. If it wasn't for him, I don't know where a lot of us would be. So just definitely want to give it back to him. So for those who don't know me, I'm Anthony Kelly. I've been in this business for over 3 years now, vice president. And like I said, this company has changed my life, has changed my family life, a lot of people that I personally know lives. And so you need to take the information serious. And I promise you, by using this information and applying it, it will take your business to the next level. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully, let me see. Yep. All right, everybody, let me get a 1 in the chat. Everybody, can you see the screen? Everything good to go? All right, guys, as you see, the title is Rebuilding. Now, I know a lot of y'all, you may be new. Some of y'all may be seasoned. So a lot of y'all that's seasoned, you know what I mean by rebuilding. Some of y'all that's new, you may not have built a team yet. But when you do start building your team, I don't care if you got 1 person, 2 people, at that point, you are a leader. So you are building an organization. Now, the thing about it is we get so, caught up in building, and we get all happy when things are going right, and we're building the organization. We're seeing the checks coming in. We're seeing our team grow. And, that's all great. When FES is doing great, FES is doing great. But what happens when you look back at all the new people, all your friends, your family member that you brought on, you look back and they're all inactive. You went from having a team to having no team. When you actually look in your back office, put a 1 in the chat if you looked in your back office and you seen a red battery that said Grace. If you've been in FES and you looked in your back office after working so hard, the 5-week coming, your team then blew up in the 5-week. Next thing you look, when it goes to the 4-week, you look back and half of them gone. And you're like, what happened? Now I got to rebuild. So that's what this training is going to be about, how to rebuild your organization. So first and foremost, the thing that you got to know about rebuilding is building on the right foundation. Sometimes that's the main thing that will hinder you from being able to grow this business, is because you're building on quicksand. Anything that you build, it has to have a stable foundation. And that comes with making sure that your team is properly launched. What is your action plan to make sure that your team is properly launched and plugged in? Are you practicing the 72-hour rule? 72-hour rule is when they commit to you and their energy is at the highest, to where they believe that they can do anything in this business. So that's when you want to make sure that you plug them in and make sure that you're getting them all the knowledge that they need to be successful in this business. Because what may happen, they may go home to a spouse that's negative. And every time they go talk to somebody, a best friend, a coworker that tells them something negative, it decreases the chances in them wanting to do this business. So you have 72 hours to make sure you're getting these agents launched. So you want to plug them into www.feslaunch.com. You want to have them logged into that, because that's going to give them everything that they need. You're going to be able to fill out the documents to understand their why. Understand, most people are going to tell you that money is their why. Money is not their original why. They have other reasons why they want this. And it's 9 times out of 10 going to be more time with their family. They're going to want just the opportunity. Maybe they want something where they can get recognized. Maybe they want recognition. Maybe they want really to be part of a family. You have to dig deep and find out that why, because that's going to help you when you have to go and encourage these people to keep going. You're going to know their real why, their real passion, and why they even joined the opportunity with you in the first place. You're also going to be able to get to their warm market. Understand, everybody has somebody that knows, loves, and trusts them. Everybody. It surprises me when I get to an agent that say, I know no one. But then next time you look, they're invited to a cookout, a birthday party, or a fight party. Everybody knows somebody. That list is going to help you get that agent to give you their warm market so you can get them their first couple of wins within that 72 hours. You want to make sure that you keep your team plugged in to our band chat. or whatever your chat is, they definitely want to make sure they're plugged into your chat, but the band chat. Make sure they understand it's not just you. It's not just you as their mentor. They have a team of people that's going to be able to help them, because they may see another leader and they may gravitate to that other leader. And that could be something that keep them in the business, seeing that it's other people that they can relate to, not just you. So you definitely want to have them plugged in. That is the key to having a solid foundation to making sure that your business keeps going. Now, you want to also evaluate what is going on with your team. So if your team crumbles, something is going wrong. So you want to evaluate what's going wrong. Maybe you're getting a bunch of field trainers. Maybe the field trainers are not advancing to those next levels. Or maybe you're getting a bunch of agents and they're not even making it to field trainer. Or maybe you're not getting any agents at all. You need to figure out what part of the formula is broken. You want to also evaluate what's going right. Maybe you're getting a ton of clients, but maybe no agents. Maybe you're getting a bunch of agents and they're just not ranking up. And you just need to see, is it because you're not getting to their warm market? Are you not, plugging them in? You just need to figure out what's going on with that. Also, what can you do better as a leader? Are you really, growing as a leader? Are you learning? Are you, staying, reading more? Like they say, leaders are readers. You constantly want to be filling your mind so you can pour into your team. So that's something you want to evaluate. You want to also identify the leaders that you currently have in your organization. I don't care what you got going on in your organization. You got one person that's riding with you there, and you don't have to call them not all day to promote the business. That may be your leader, that one person. You're going to run with them and you're going to grow with them and take your team to the top with that one person. Now, you also want to evaluate your managers. Now, these are the people that you got to coach, you got to pour into, you got to mentor. These are managers. Now, you also have workers. These are the people that you're constantly calling, you're constantly recharging their battery. You got to tell them to keep coming to training. You got to remind them why they even got started with this. So they constantly need coaching. They need mentorship. They need you to keep pouring into them. So those are your workers. So you got to identify who you got in your organization so you'll know who to spend time with and who's wasting your time, and you'll know how much time you need to dedicate to that person. Now, also, you want to evaluate yourself. You want to look at yourself in the mirror, because I promise you guys, as you start climbing up these charts and you start hitting these ranks, you're going to feel like you did it, you got it. You know the whole blueprint. You might even get cocky about how confident you feel about your team growing. But once your team stops growing and it crumbles, that's when you're going to start doubting yourself. So you want to stay positive. You want to make sure that you're listening to positive information, you're staying plugged into, and you're staying near positive people. You want to stay close to that fire. So who's ever succeeding in your organization, you want to start meeting with them. You want to make sure that you're staying plugged into and watching, the people in the back office that's succeeding. For people that get jealous or get angry when they see people get into the R&R club or getting, the accolades, you're looking at it wrong. You have to look at that's still going to be me. I'm going to make it to the top. I just got to keep grinding. So are you still committed? When your organization failed, that's when you're going to start second guessing the opportunity. You have to ask yourself, are you still committed in FES? Do you still believe? Do you still see the dream in FES? Because when things are going good, they're going great. But when they're going bad, it can, the doubt starts to eat you alive. So also staying plugged in. Staying plugged in is going to help you, because not only is it going to show you the people that succeeding, it's going to show you maybe some things that you're not utilizing in your business, or you're not sharing with your team, or effective ways that you can actually build momentum within your team. Now, also, are you reaching out for help? Reaching out, don't reach, like they say, don't reach to your downline, your sideline. You want to reach to your upline. Those are the people that already been what you're going through. They've been there and they can coach you through it. Now you want to calibrate, meaning you want to get with your top leaders and you want to brainstorm. You want to come together on what you need to do to kind of get that momentum back, to get that fire back under your team and start rebuilding that team. So you want to start with recognition. Like Xavier says, people will die for recognition. People just want to feel that what they did made a difference. Maybe an award, as Razor do, she sent out cards every birthday, thank you cards, books, different things like that, just special recognition for maybe they got 3 clients within that week, putting that out, shouting them out to the team. Also contests. You want to do some type of contest, a giveaway, a prize to start driving that incentive. See how many people can actually do the trial run post. See how many people can, close, how many agents within a week. You want to go ahead and start doing giveaways to your team weekly to get that momentum back up and going. Team outings. As you see, for those who missed it, this is not the first time I did this presentation. I did this presentation at our mansion getaway, weekend getaway, team building getaway. And if you wasn't there, shame on you. You definitely want to be at the next one because you're missing out on so many knowledge, so many nuggets, and our top leaders being able to pour into you and being able to be part of that team camaraderie. You don't want to miss the next one. Game plan. So the game plan is the series people, your leaders, you want to give them an action plan. Weekly, you want to inspect what you expect. So if your people that say they're running with you, they're in it, they're still willing to build with you, you want to say, okay, great. How many can you give me this week? How many? Let them name it. But you're going to hold them accountable. How many follow-ups are you doing? How many people are you reaching out to daily? You're going to hold them accountable. So when that following week comes, you're like, hey, you said you're going to have 3, 5, 6, what have you. What happened? And you're going to evaluate the numbers. Hey, you only did 1 out of the 5 that you said. What happened? Maybe you didn't follow up. Maybe you didn't, maybe you didn't do a peek and pass. Sometimes when you do start from the bottom, you want to actually start back from the bottom. Tell your leaders to humble themselves. We're going back to the basics. Peek and pass. Get them on the phone. Make sure we're getting a certain amount of people on these webinars. So that's what you want to do when you start game planning to rebuild that organization. Now, they give you all the tools that you need to be able to effectively rebuild. It's all in your back office. You want to become very familiar with the organization structure. Your organization structure is really going to show you where you're at from your next title, what happened regarding the high titles that you have on your team, where the next people need to be regarding getting their next title. So you really want to know what's going on in your organization so you can see who you can help, who you can actually start, using almost the sponsor placement option also, and that's you're helping them with value. Maybe you have somebody that just need a little bit more value to hit their next title. So you want to become familiar with sponsor placement. You also want to become familiar with projected sales value. Your projected sales value is going to give you an idea of how much more value that person needs to get to their next rank. Okay. You want to also make sure you're just tracking the decline list. So for those protection plans that's been declined, those are your agents that haven't made their payment. You want to reach out to them and you want to let them know that, hey, they need to make their payment, come back active. So these are some of the tools that they have set aside for us to make sure that we understand what's going on in our organization. Now, this is how you're going to do it when you actually start reaching out to your agents, because no matter what size your organization is, you want to call through them. Now, like I said, the way that you're going to do it, you're going to just reach out to them. And this is a script that you can use. I call them if they're inactive, no matter if they're active or inactive, I'm calling through anybody that I can get back on board. So, hey, how you doing, John? This is Vice President Anthony Kelly. The reason why I say the title, because some of these people may not even know you. You may have agents that just put them into your business without properly launching them, without introducing them to you. So, hey, I'm letting them know this is Vice President Anthony Kelly. How have you been? So they might say, hey, who is this? Vice President Anthony Kelly with FES. I see that you was part of my organization. Just wanted to reach out to you and see how things going. Even though I know they may be inactive, even if I know they're not working, I want to see how things are going. And they're going to tell you. You're going to ask them, hey, how's business? What obstacles are you facing? What can I do to help you? What happened? What's going on regarding your credit? Because the thing about it is, remember, a lot of agents are clients, but when they come into this opportunity, they only think about the opportunity and they never even worry about their credit. So that means it's people that quit the business still got bad credit. So you can use that as a way of getting them back committed. Hey, you never even sent out your letters. Go ahead and get back started. At least send out your letters. And I can help you with growing the business. Hey, do a post for me. Tag at least 15 people, 50 people, what have you. At least get me on 3 new calls and watch what I can do with those 3 new calls. You're going to try to gain and build a little bit of trust because it's just like a ball rolling down a hill. Once it picks up momentum, that's when they're going to get back. That fire is going to get back lit under them. And letting the agents know how close they are to attaining their goals. Some of us have basically people with sales director volume sitting in their back office, and most of these agents don't even know what a sales director is. You want to help them understand what they have and how attainable a goal of being able to make this realistically a home-based business for them. Now, reactivating or getting the dead, bringing the dead back to life. Those people that's been flatlined, shocking them and bringing them back to life. I got this one from Alfred. Shout out to Alfred. He did a training letting us know that he had a title he needed to hit, and he went back and he was like, if I can at least get 10% of the people inactive back active, I can hit my next title. And by doing so, he was able to get back Bruce Rochester, Lambo Bruce. What would a Lambo Bruce look like in your business? Some of these people were sitting on the sideline for a year. Most of us would have never called them. We would have kept moving. And you might have lost out on that Lambo Bruce in your organization. Amita Rashad was another person that was sitting on the sideline that he ended up calling and getting back up and running. So that's powerful, guys. So you definitely want to call back through the inactive people in your organization and see if you can get them back up and running, because sometimes it may have not been the right time when they started the business, but when you reach out to them, now could be that right time. Maybe they got fired. Maybe they came to an epiphany that they need time freedom. Maybe they just really believe in online marketing at that time. So you definitely want to reach out to them, but more than anything, you want to focus on new business. Go out and get new business partners. Once you get new blood in that organization, in your group chat, and you start running with a team of new people, I promise you, those old people, when they see them hitting ranks and they ranking up and they getting the accolades and you're shouting them out and y'all going on team outings as a new team, those old people are going to say, hey, I need to take it serious. These people then came in before me, after me, and now they're doing better than me. So they're going to want to get back running. So new blood is definitely going to rebuild that organization. But I want to tell you, anything through all the hard times, the doubt, the frustration, I'm telling you, this journey will take you on ups and downs. But all you really want to make sure you do is reset, refocus, readjust, and restart as many times as it takes. Every start, I'm a basically new agent, and I strive to be a sales director or regional sales director every start, just on my own accord. So you have to look at this opportunity as if it's your first time, so you can hit that restart button, put all the failure, put all the doubt aside, and just restart yourself mentally, emotionally, and understand we have the right vehicle to take you to the top. But more than anything, you got to stay positive. You got to believe in the dream and don't quit. Be here next year, the following year, throughout. Make sure you don't quit. All right. Everybody, man, I hope you got a ton of value from this. I promise you, if you implement what I just went over with you, if you're going through rebuild, it will help you with getting your team back up and running and your organization back where it needs to be. So I don't want to take no more time. I want to give it back to Myra.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I sure can.
Thank you so very much. Again, giving it back to you, recognizing that phenomenal training. I was over here taking notes, over here just writing everything down. I know a lot of the things that you spoke about struck a chord in me, and thank you for stepping up and reminding us of these things. This is a journey. This is definitely not something that just by day one, we're automatically going to be where we need to be throughout this process, but it's definitely something that we learn and we grow through. So I thank you again for that information. We appreciate you, acknowledge you, and congratulate you on your success, and cheers to that much more that's on its way. So again, I appreciate you and thank you for pouring into the team. Now, without any further delay, ladies and gentlemen, this individual that is to follow, someone that Anthony Kelly mentioned several times, is the reason behind so many of us even being here to begin with, right? Because this individual is someone that has actually poured right into our direct mentor, Senior Vice President Xavier Marrero, right? Now, if you've heard some powerful information, light it up in the chat. Go ahead and put some flames. I don't know if you're even ready for what's going to happen for tonight, but I'm telling you right now, if we had ever told you there's someone you need to pay attention to, or some information that's going to reignite something within you, just someone that's going to come pouring into you, tonight would be that night. If you had not yet heard it, you understand, you want to give yourself the opportunity to grow with us tonight and learn from this powerful, successful individual. Now, I met him by way of this opportunity, And there's two things. I actually want to go ahead and thank him because as Anthony Kelly said, what he spoke about in a past training, Mr. Alfred Nixon had shared the whole resurrecting inactive agents, right? And a lot of people don't even know that I was actually a client in 2017, although I didn't even do this business in 2018. So in a way, I want to personally thank Alfred Nixon for offering that training, because perhaps that's what may have reignited or re-motivated Xavier Marrero to reach back out to me. So I'm someone I pretty much consider myself having been resurrected from the dead by way of this opportunity. And also, I'll never forget the very first training event that I attended after really getting serious about this and starting to work the business. This gentleman took the stage to train. And there was one thing that always resonated within me. It has never left my mind. And it is that network marketing is simply an opportunity with a paycheck attached to it. So you basically have all rights and all control to how much quality you design yourself to be, so you could then in turn bring that to the table, and the marketplace will compensate you accordingly. This gentleman is a Pinnacle Senior Vice President with this opportunity. And that means he's created a movement, an organization that in business is generating $10 million or more each month in revenue. So understand, this is a big deal, right? And he's done so and been able to achieve this in less than 5 years of doing this opportunity. Not only that, he is the first individual to actually hit level 7 of the R&R Retirement Club with this opportunity. Now, you need to understand how powerful of a statement that means. That means along his journey, in less than 5 years, he's received direct payouts of $85,000 in the company bonuses alone, right? And that's only one of the ways that we're compensated for, as well as on a monthly basis in an infinity bonus, being compensated $300,000 or more. And that's only 3% of what he himself has been able to create in the lives of other individuals. Now, if some of you might not be used to hearing numbers so big and so large, and it might sound a little bit funny, that's because I want to dare you to step into being uncomfortable and growing, because this individual started out working in background as someone working for the sanitation department in Miami-Dade. And today he is someone that not only we admire, that we have so much respect for. He took absolutely nothing that a lot of people use as excuses and limitations as something that was going to hold him back. He's been able to break records, transform so many generations to come. And again, we have a huge respect for this individual. And I'm going to go ahead and give it away to him. So please help me welcome our Pinnacle Senior Vice President, Alfred Nixon. Can you hear me this evening, and are you connected with us?
Absolutely, absolutely, Myra. I am here, and man, just definitely want to give it back to you. I appreciate the kind words. I remember I was thinking about a year, 2 years ago, myself and some of the leadership team, Dr. Arnold Burgundy, we went out there to Go Pro. I remember that was one of your first big events, and just to see your growth from that time to where you at now, I mean, leading the charge, hosting calls, just super excited for your growth and all of the things that you're doing. Congratulations on all your success here at our platform. And, I want to welcome everybody to the call. And, I'm going to share some information with you guys tonight. But before I do so, I always like to share this information and share this picture right here, just to see what Mr. Anthony Kelly was able to deliver. This was us when we were struggling in network marketing. You see me holding up the sign. You see Mr. Xavier Marrero taking the kneel. You see Anthony right there. This should inspire you that no matter where you come from, no matter where you at in your position in the business, look what Anthony has been able to grow to as a top producing vice president. Six-figure earn. Look what Xavier Marrero been able to accomplish as a senior vice president, one of the top earners in the entire company. And myself, we all struggled in this industry. So definitely want to give it back to you, Ant. Super proud of you, man, seeing your growth, your consistency, what you've been able to contribute to the organization. And it goes without saying, man, Mr. Relentless himself, Xavier Marrero, I was telling him, man, one of the things I admire about Xavier is his family mindset to make everybody feel included and spending time with the team and growing the family. And that's why his organization has been able to take off like it has, here in the last several years. So my job tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I get to share some information with you. And, if you don't know my story, maybe you heard me in the company or you've seen us around. And tonight we can have a personal conversation. I got started in this industry at the age of 19, right? I'm 28 years old today. That's nearly a decade, right, of me going through the trenches, and going through different platforms and not having success. And, one of the things I was able to learn along the journey is that it's two type of people that we have on the call tonight. It's that one type of person is you're struggling to share this information with people. You believe in the product, you believe in the company, you're connected, you're on every call, you're doing everything you need to do, but you can't even get nobody to share the information with. You're struggling to recruit people. Your business is going backwards. You're trying to figure things out, but you're connected. And then you got the second type of person, and you're getting people in front of the information, but you can't close nobody. How many people know what I'm talking about? You get them on the webinars, they get off the webinar, you can't get them in the back office. You sharing people that you meet them in person, they can never enroll. How many people know what I'm talking about? Well, I'm going to share with you tonight how you can get those people in your back office. I'm going to share with you tonight how your business can be struggling to how you can put it in full blast momentum. And it starts all with the invitation. You got to have the right attitude. You got to have the right mindset. You got to have the right desire. But more importantly, you got to be disciplined, right? That was one of the things that took me from making money into this industry to building wealth, to building a massive bank account, to retiring our family, and not only just making money, but getting out of debt, having a discipline, leading by example. And it starts out with a desire. So when you inviting people, you have to understand this one thing. Nobody likes to be sold, but they love to buy. So when you getting people to take a look at this information, if you just getting them on the call and you telling them, hey man, come take a look. Now you got that person on the presentation like this. What they trying to sell me, man? So they already got their guard up. There's no rapport that was built. You just got people taking a look and they got their guard up of them being sold. So if you open it up the different way and leverage the stories, I'm never inviting because of the product or the compensation plan. I'm leveraging stories. So when I'm talking to individuals, I ask them, listen, do you got Instagram? And they all say, yeah. So what I do is I say, do me a favor and get on Instagram. I want you to go to this page for a second. And I kind of highlight some of the stories in the company, right? For example, I use a Valesky Barosi story, right? When I'm inviting people out, I'm getting them to see the vision. The reason why we had so much success so fast is because I painted the vision for my prospects when they was meeting Mr. Henry. Before they even met him, they was already in mentally. They didn't even have to see the presentation. The presentation just validated what it was that we was doing because I painted the vision. I use Valesky Barosi example. This gentleman is 25, 26 years old, documented $1 million earner. This gentleman used to work at Walmart, $8.25 an hour. Now he's living his best life. Was able to go out there and get his dream car of a Lamborghini. I'm leveraging the stories in the company. That's validating my success. Then I can go to a person like an Ashton Henry, right? Bentley truck. Ashton Henry, Rolls Royce. Killing the game. So I'm showing them success. I'm showing them what's possible for them, right? I'm showing them his story. I'm sharing his background, or Alicia Gaines or an Alyssa Barnes, or just learning the stories. I became good at learning the stories in the company because I wasn't just inviting people to see the information. Hey man, you got to see this information. You can make a lot of money. There's no validation in that. You're trying to sell a person. It's like pulling teeth. But when you paint that vision, see, I know how to talk to my people. I know what my people need to hear. So if I can get them in front of this information, I'm closing them before the presentation. Big Al talked about that. The presentation doesn't close the person. The invitation do the work. So if I invite people the right way, when I got Bruce involved, Bruce was already in before he got there because I got Bruce to drive 50 minutes from his house to West Palm Beach just to see the information because of the vision I set. The edification I said. I talked about Mr. Henry, right? So learn how to go on Instagram and show the success stories. You can go to my page and share my success. You can go to Alyssa Barnes. You can go to Amina Rashid. You can go to Ajaya Hongo. You can go to Nicola Smith Jackson. So when these people like, oh, I want to get involved. These people making money. This person got a Bentley, or this person was able, like Andy was able to generate and get his own home. Right? Share that story. So now when I get them on the presentation in their mind, they just trying to validate what it is that I do for them to get involved because they already sold. They already want to get in. Now the next step is once you get these people in, because you invited them the right way, you're going to close them if they're serious. Now it's about getting them over the bridge. You heard Anthony talk about that. And this is one of the most important things that we dropped the ball on. See, in network marketing, you got to get people across the bridge. And you got a very limited time to do so. I tell people all the time, you got Jews in your back office. You got vice presidents in your back office, but you're focusing on the cab. You're not getting this person started the right way. So when I get a person in, my brain, a time watch is already going off. I really got 24 to 48 hours. We say 72 hours, but I really only got 24 to 48 to get that person launched ASAP. You see the bridge, it say launch, result, event, field trainer, leadership. So when I get that person in, I got 24 to 48 hours to get that person launched properly. I got 1 to 2 days when I get that person in. I got 48 hours to get that person to see a result. 48 hours, I got to get them a customer, I got to get them an agent. And my question for them when I get them in, I say, listen, do you know anybody in your household that wouldn't mind improving their score by 50 to 100 points? Everybody got people in their household. We can even waive the activation fee. We can get them in at 89. Once they see that first email enrollment, their confidence is through the roof. So I got 48 hours to get that done. Then I got 5 days to get that person to see social proof. So I want them to get on a big webinar. I want them to get on the VP University. I want them to know that it's not just me and them that's doing the business. It's bigger than us. I want them to see thousands of people. I want them to see the testimonials. So I got 5 days to do that. Then I got 7 to 11 days to validate the belief. I got to get that person paid. Because I can tell you right now, if you're the only person making money in your organization, you ain't going to be making money for long, bruh, sis. You got to get people paid, because when you get them paid, your check going to go through the roof. And now I got to give them a mindset shift, because most people come from the employee mindset, right? It's hard to go from being an employee to an entrepreneur. Most people that get started in this business, they're used to being told what to do. You have to give people tasks. If you don't give people tasks and they're building their own business, even when you go full-time, you will have people wasting hours, wasting days. Before you know it, they're wasting weeks. They're not doing the activity that they need to have success, right? So I want you guys to hear from one of these gentlemen that's in my organization. I mean, this guy's been killing it. He's only 21 years old. He's only been with us for 5 months. If I share it with you what he's made in 5 months, put it like this, go Google what a physician make in a year. He's made that times 3 in 5 months. He's made more money than some regional VPs, executive VP. He's only been in for 5 months. This gentleman is only 20 years old. Matter of fact, he just turned 21, and he's going to share with you how he's getting leads, how he's closing people, how he went from living in Chicago in the snow to now got his dream penthouse condo in Sunny Isles, California. Did my friend, top producing regional vice president, the youngest RVP in the company, Leo Lanowski, did you make it to the call tonight? I think one of us got to make him a host.
Alfred, I made it over here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my good friend. I appreciate the super strong leadership that you are providing for us, man. God bless you. You are a true leader, man. And I'm excited to show everybody tonight how it's done.
Absolutely. So real quick, Leo, if you can share with us, how old are you again, man?
Yeah, I'm 21.
21. How long have you been with the company?
Basically 5 months, 5 months of actual engaged activity, you know what I'm saying? And actually focused and working and being disciplined.
And I know we don't supposed to share this. I know this is being recorded. We don't really want this to go far because we're recording this. But how much money have you earned approximately over the last 5 to 6 months of you being in the company?
About 280. You want me to show the numbers?
You don't got to show the numbers. I've seen them. But what you made? You made $288.
288 grand.
I know. So you kind of really just 100x your income, and kind of share with the people how you've been doing. A lot of people been seeing you in the back office. You've really been the #1 recruiter, the #1, person getting customers. You're always in that top 3. How are you doing that? How did you make $288K in the last 5 months at 21 years old?
100% Alfred Apps. I'm here to give that guy. So listen, so the name of the game, it's really being disciplined, with the brain, because your brain will try to sabotage you before you do an activity. You know what I'm saying? So before you're right about to start working, just tell yourself, I'm not backing down, and I'm gonna have that hard charging attitude, because I come from door-to-door sales. So I've personally been in the mindset of just eat what you kill forever. Since I was 16, so my first actual job was a door-to-door sales job. So yes, I'm 21. However, my experience in this type of business, it's been quite long. You know what I'm saying? So, however, the good news is for you, if you're just starting out from an employee to mindset, like you're making hourly, the fastest way and the biggest shortcut is from learning like people like Alfred, you know what I'm saying? People like me, anybody that is making real money. You just ask them, hey, what do I do? Boom, they give you answers. And then you just go and run with it. The biggest way you can show respect is by doing the actual work that they told you that it takes to do. Exactly what Alfred was talking about. You bring them on the Zoom, you get them, you sell them, you show them their Instagram profiles, you get them excited, get them on the Zoom, boom. You don't even got to know what you're talking about. You just got to be excited. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how I started off in my career of like this type of industry. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I'm going to tell you exactly how the whole, sales process works and how I was able to generate leads, guys. It starts with just hitting up your entire friends list. Hit up your entire, I don't care what social media you're on, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, hit everybody up and say, hey, I just started a business and me and my business partner just really want to get out there. Can you please tag me in this post? And then boom.
You can share your screen, Leo. You can share your screen if you want to be able to show them. And 100%. What Leo is doing, and Bruce been telling people to do this for the last 3 years. Right? Yeah. I talk about shout outs. Me and Ashton, we talk about shout outs, Hanzo, but everybody don't have the money to do shout outs. Everybody can't pay like that. Leo's going to show you a free way on how he's getting unlimited leads. It's basically leveraging the trial run. And we've been telling people to do this, but people aren't doing it. He's getting at least 20 to 30 people to post for him every single day. He's giving all of the people he enrolled and even people that tell him no, he's making them post on his wall, shouting him out. Here goes the post right here. Leo's the man. You got less than, so he's getting through all of these different leads of people. Yeah. And that's how he's closing. And that's how he's been number one in the company and producing for the last about 4 or 5 months. Matter of fact, since he's came in, he's been number one in producing in customers and in agents. And he's showing you how to do it. Go ahead, Leo.
100%. And so God bless. Let me just mute out the people that are messaging me real quick. All right. There we go. It's fine. But yeah, guys, so the name of the game, like Alfred said, just getting people to post, you know what I'm saying? So if you do 20, 30 times a day, it's possible. I do like 15 times a day. Keep in mind, you got to have a tight pitch. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a really, really tight pitch, like when you're on the phone. Because the thing is that I don't just message them. You know what I'm saying? I'm a sales guy. You know what I mean? Guys, you got to embrace it. You're a salesperson. This is a sales job. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real here. The more honest with yourself, you're going to make more money. You know what I'm saying? So treat it how it is and take it serious. I do this seven days a week. I put in serious hours. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I wake up, boom, get on the computer, order my DoorDash, order Grubhub, boom, comes, I eat, I work. You know what I'm saying? I'm working from the moment that I wake up to almost the time that I go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And it's just being committed. And the ones that will survive are people who are all the time, or people who are willing to just grind. I mean, look, you'll survive if you're doing it just full time, like 50, 60 hours a week. You'll survive even more if you take it to the next level and you're just a psychopath. You know what I'm saying? So
could you show them that example of that conversation? We was just talking to a guy that you was closing live for me on another call. You can show them what you're asking this person and how you get straight to the point. Boom, boom, boom. You get their number, you get on the phone, you close them. Kind of show that conversation, what that looked like. And then after that, if you can share with them what you're giving people to post on their wall when they're posting for you.
Exactly. So anyway, so this is how the conversation goes. You know what I'm saying? This guy commented info on one of the posts. He's like, hey, what negative items are on your report? A lot of stuff, utility, medical, no student loan. Boom, I say it back to him. I'm like, what are your scores? And then I say, if I pulled your report, brought you to 700, boom, in 4 months, fantastic. What's your phone number? No matter what they say, ask for the phone number. anything that looks like an objection in reality, 80% of the time could be a complaint. Unless it's only an objection if they repeat it. You know what I'm saying? So very critical, guys. I'll just go over another example of a post of somebody that just, let's see, this guy just paid. Here we go. So, hey, what negative items are on your report? Repo and cable bill. What are your scores because of that? 504. If I deleted everything, brought your score to 700 plus. Boom. Yes, so what's the catch? I didn't even answer. I didn't even tell him what the catch was. You know what I'm saying? Just, it'll be fair because you came to me from a good client and friend of mine. Boom, I got his number. I get him on the call. I'm like, yo, man, so this is how it works. You know, our company's going to pull the report. We're going to see what's on there. When they see what's on there, our company will prepare for you what is called dispute letters. And you'll get them in the mail 10 to 14 business days. You get them in the mail. All you got to do, you sign them, attach the IDs to the back of them, the social card to the back of them, copy, and just send each letter to each bureau. Then we'll know the credit bureaus responded within 30 to 45 days. And depending on what came off and what stayed on, we'll either give you new letters, or if you're satisfied with the results, then you're good to go. That's it. Is that fair? And then I say, it's 188. Is that fair? Boom. F-bomb. Powerful word, guys. So I just gave you literally the secret formula that I use day in, day out to get people to close. And
what's the post you're giving them to post for you?
Right here. Leo's the man. Boom. Plug and play, baby.
Score want to increase. I have a connection that can illegally. Yeah, this how he's getting all of these leads. Ladies and gentlemen, understand the name of the game in our industry is leads. If you don't have nobody to talk to, how are you going to close deals? How is your business going to grow? You don't want to be managing other people. You want to always be bringing in new blood, new business. If you're not bringing in new blood, new business, your business is going to be stagnant. You're going to be stuck. So you got to go through leads. And this is a free way on how to do it that Leo is teaching you guys. And Bruce has been telling people this for years. And I know a lot of you guys have been leveraging this method and getting great results. But for those of you who've seen this for the first time or heard it and haven't been leveraging it, this is how you can get unlimited leads for free. Because you're getting in front of a network. One of the things that I learned, as I mentioned on the live we did last Friday, was the reason why I was struggling in my first network marketing company was because the people that I wanted to join, they was waiting for me to be successful. They wasn't going to join until they seen my results. And I was waiting for them to join just so I can be successful. So obviously they never joined because I'm waiting on them to join and they waited on me to be successful. So I had to get beyond my warm market. How do I do that? You can have people post for you. Now you're tapping into what their market is. We call that tap rooting. You can leverage Instagram. You can have shout outs, but this is a free way how you can get, even if people don't join. You heard the guy that Bruce brought in. He don't even care if people sign up. His goal is to get 10, 15, 20 people to post a day because now he's got all of these leads of people to talk to. And eventually, if you go through enough numbers, you're going to get enough leads. Aisha talked about it last night. You're getting paid for no's, right? If you go out there, if you talk to enough people, you're going to close more deals. So definitely appreciate you for coming on, Leo. Appreciate your time. And man, big congratulations, man. I still can't believe you only been in the company for 5.5, 6 months, hit RVP. You got a vice president in your organization. I mean, all of them are killing it. And just super excited for you, man. Only 21 years old, making it happen. Congratulations, brother.
God bless you, Alfred. Thank you for amazing leadership. You the man.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, man. And, and as we close out, ladies and gentlemen, again, when you're sharing this information, when it comes to a prospect level, you have to paint the vision. Don't just get them on a webinar. Because if you just get a person on a webinar, they're like, what is this? What are they trying to sell me? They're trying to make money off me. If you validate the vision, if you validate the dream before they even get on the call, i.e., as I was talking about on Instagram, I'm always telling people, listen, man, go to this, you got Instagram? Check this page out. I'm walking them through people pages and having them see the success story. For example, with Jay Yahango, who's another young lady in our platform that's killing the game, Senior Vice President. I have them and I tell them, hey, she was a single mother. She did X, Y, and Z. They start analyzing her page. They start seeing what she was able to accomplish. That start validating the belief to that person. They already like, okay, this sounds great. Alyssa Barnes, who's another top leader, we leverage her page. Hanzo Dennis, we leverage his page. Lakeisha Marion, we leverage her page. Depending on who that person is, if they're a nurse, I'm gonna get them on the Alicia Gaines page, right? If they're in real estate, I'm gonna leverage Lakeisha Marion page, Tony Camilleri, so they can relate. So when I get them to the webinar, they kind of already in, right? Network marketing is all about having a belief level, making it a commitment, and having a desire, right? If you trying to recruit somebody and you're scared to talk to people, or you don't have that belief, or you don't have that backbone, these people aren't going to get in your organization, right? You got to look at it as when you're inviting somebody out, kind of like an 18-wheeler turned over in your neighborhood and it's filled with gold. And the people tell you, listen, we don't want to wake nobody up. Listen, if you can help us put this gold in the truck without waking nobody up, you're going to get 25% of whatever it is we put in the truck, right? If somebody tell you that, you're going to call and they say you can bring some people with you and whatever they get, you're going to get 10% of it. If you got that type of value with our platform, you're going to call these people like, bro, I don't know what you're doing, but you got to come. I need your help. Bring the truck. These people are going to come. You trying to be too nice and say the best words and the best scripts, that stuff don't work. You got to have posture, backbone, and belief. People like to follow people with strength. When you do that, people are going to come, and that's how you're going to close people. That's how you're going to get your organization going, and that's how you're going to get in momentum. You got to continue to do it, and you got to be disciplined. You got to always bring in new business. You got to always be, who's my next success story? Who's the next leader that I can build? Who's the person that has potential? Maybe they went inactive, right? Maybe they never had a chance to really get off to a good start. Let me reach back out to them, see what their mindset is, see what they're happening in, and get them back and poured into the game. If you think like that, if you have that backbone, if you have that vision, and you do your part and you stay disciplined, this game plan is all about going through the numbers, going through the nose. Most people only get frustrated when you don't have leads. When you don't have leads, your business is at a standstill. When you don't have leads, you're like, man, I really don't know what's going on in my organization. When you understand that you can get unlimited leads by having people post for you, or when you want to get on this side of the platform where you want to spend and pay for shout outs, it's easy to hit positions. It's easy to get promoted because I know I can go and get about any amount of value that I want. I can go get it because I know I can go to an unlimited amount of leads. And if I go through enough numbers, I'm going to get the people in the back office. So if you're having trouble getting people on webinar, there's no reason why every day that you come on a webinar, you're the only person with no guests. That means you're not doing your part before the webinar. That means we're not talking to people. That means there's not enough leads. We don't have people posting for us, so we're not doing shout outs with our platform. So I hope you guys got value. Again, make sure when you get past this point and start enrolling people into your organization, don't let them fall into the black hole in network marketing. We don't have so many leaders fall into the black hole in network marketing because they didn't get started the right way. We didn't validate their success. We didn't get them paid. And not only when we got them paid, we got to give them a mindset shift. We don't just give people the stage because they hit vice president in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. It still has to be a mindset shift. They can have the title, but their mindset may not be woken up. So we got to continue to grow that person, and then we can give that person the stage. We got to be mindful of how we develop people at the sales director position. A good example of that was Rob Santiago. Man, he was already operating as a VP when he was a sales director. He was presenting. He was already ready, when you're building an organization. So I hope you guys got value from that. Sales is just a transfer of belief. That's all it is. And when you can paint that vision, if you can get people on that Instagram, we got so many success stories that you can leverage. I don't got to wrestle with this person on the phone to convince them. I'm going to ask them, do you got Instagram? Let me show you what's happening and what we're connected to and who I can introduce you to that's making a ton of money. Ashton Henry, Alfred Nixon, Nicola Smith Jackson, Amina Rashid, Xavier Marrero, Riza Artur. You have the leaders here that you can leverage their success. Look how many people on Team Relentless got Benzes. It's in the pudding. It's proof. It's working. People successful. They're making six figures. Leverage their stories, get them on the Zoom so when they hear that person speak, they already got a certain level of respect for that person. They already in. See, when I got first introduced to this industry, before I even knew what it was, when I drove up to the people's house I said, I don't care what it is, I'm getting in because they already painted the vision. I seen the Bentley sitting outside. I was already in mentally. I just needed to see what it was. When you get your prospects like that, you close them before they even see the information, your organization to go to the next level. So that being said, I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Myra. I appreciate you guys for having me. I hope you guys was able to get something tonight. Again, hearing from a gentleman who's only been in for 6 months, who's made nearly 300,000. He's only been in for 6 months. And all he's doing is going through the leads with this platform. That's it. He's closing deals. He's getting customers, he's getting agents. And I have to do this for the sake of being compliant because this is recorded. Let me pull this up real quick and then we can close out with the income disclaimer because that kid is crushing it. And if he can crush it, anybody on his line can crush it. But I want to bring up this income disclaimer so people know, that income disclaimer and, anybody can make money with this thing, but you got to do the work, right? You got to go out there and do the work with our platform. And you got SVPs and above on average making 2.4 million a year. EVPs making $250,000 a year. You just heard from an RVP that's made more than that in 6 months, right? So if he can do it, anybody on this call can do it. The only difference between him and somebody else, they haven't been through enough leads. So hopefully you guys got value, and I'm gonna turn it back over to you, Myra. Thank you for having me. Big shout out to Xavier Marrero, the leader of Relentless. I mean, just doing some incredible things in our platform, and all the leadership team here with Team Relentless. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you so very much for that, Mr. Alfred Nixon. I think the whole entire team must be all up in the chat right now, just wishing you blessings, congratulating you. And again, just sending out a huge and heartfelt thank you for pouring so much into us. I took a ton of notes. I'm sure the whole entire team did as well. We appreciate you sharing this time with us. You couldn't be doing anything else. You clearly have all of your obligations as well as everything you've created for the lifestyle you live right now to be busy with, besides doing what you did for us. But tonight, this training I know will be one for the books. Again, thank you so very much. And for Leo as well, with sharing that raw and genuine energy. It's like they say, right? Your energy speaks louder than anything you can use words with to describe. But to sit there and hear, sales is simply an exchange of belief, a transfer of belief. And you have been someone to pour that belief into so many individuals. And, again, to the whole team, stay plugged in. We just have a little bit more that's going to be coming out. Moving right along, we have our none other than very own Senior Vice President, Mr. Xavier Marrero. I'm not going to overextend this and go into how phenomenal of a person that he is, because we already know how phenomenal he is. His name has been dropped throughout the entire night. And if not for him, Team Relentless wouldn't be. He had a revelation that he shared with us. I think it was last week during training. Team Relentless is actually something that he created years ago. And it started out with even that share that Mr. Alfred Nixon provided with that photo from back in the day. You see, you got to plug into your vision. Remember why you got started day in and day out. And we happen to be blessed with this phenomenal platform that lets us make all of those dreams become our reality. So again, without any further delay, do we have none other than our Senior Vice President, Mr. Xavier Marrero. Are you connected and can you hear me?
Yes, Maya, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, take it away.
Oh my God, I'm over here trying to keep myself calm. Wow. First of all, congratulations, Vice President Anthony Kelly. Killed it. Guys, very, very important to understand, rebuild, how to go about it, the correct mindset. And one thing he said, and it was so true, and we did learn this from Alfred, is going there and digging, going to your inventory in your back office and seeing who you can go ahead and save again. And I share this quick story, and you guys probably didn't know. I was actually enrolled for almost an entire year and didn't do anything. And Alfred Nixon called me one day and said, hey, X, I want you to go to this training. Once you go to this training, whatever you decide to do, it's on you. But I feel it's my responsibility to let you know about this training and to actually welcome you to this training. What he didn't know is that he was actually answering, a blessing I was asking for God. And I was asking God for a change, for something new, for something that was really going to take me and my entire family and the people that I wanted to the next level. And And before I knew it, I got a call from Alfred. And I didn't even have the money to get to that training. And I never told Alfred I never had the money, because as Puerto Ricans, we have too much pride. We can't tell people that, right? And God answered my prayers, because Alfred was like, bro, and don't worry, it's $550, but I got you. The only thing I need you to do is show up. And if it wasn't for that phone call, if it wasn't for him to invest that $550 for that training that has changed my life forever, I don't think none of us will be on this webinar right now. So Alfred, thank you for that. Anthony Kelly, thank you for actually training on that, because that right there, when I look at it, and Alfred can correct me if I'm wrong, if he's still on, I think all his top leaders all went inactive for a month or maybe over a year. And I think, and he can correct me if I'm wrong, he reached out to every single one at different times, at different points, and every single one of them now are operating within one of his 5, maybe 6 organizations, and are multiple 6-figure earners, or not 7-figure earners. All of them are probably already in the R&R club. So if Relentless is driving a ton of Benzes, you know, Millionaire Mindsets are driving exotics like Bentleys and Ferraris and Lamborghinis, you know. So again, if it wasn't for that man, and it's funny, I used to call Alfred a kid. I used to always be like, this kid, but he's no longer a kid. This is a true leader, servant leader. If it wasn't for his vision, again, most of us wouldn't even be here today, including myself. Alfred, you already know, I always personally thank you. I don't try to do it too much on big platforms. I'm not the person that tries to put it out there, how much respect we have for Alfred. We show Alfred how much respect we have for him. We don't need to speak about it. So Alfred, again, thank you so much for that. Anthony Kelly, thank you so much for that training. Another thing that I want to thank Alfred for is bringing Leo on. Guys, this guy just explained KISS to y'all. Keep it stupid simple. What? $285,000? Hold on. Guys, take some airwax out the air, because when I heard that, my jaw dropped. Guys, I made a ton of money this year. A ton of money. But God, in 5 months, 288,000? Man, Alfred said it. EVPs are not even touching that right now. That's crazy. And you know, all he did is he followed the blueprint. And one thing that he said, and I wrote this down. See, this is why it's very important to take notes forever a student, right? He said this, and I want everyone to write this down, right? You show respect by doing what they told you to do. How many times are you reaching out to a mentor? How many times are you reaching out to another leader at a different organization on top of that sometimes? And I need help because my mentor is not helping me, or my mentor doesn't do this, or my mentor is never available. But when your mentor told you to do something, did you go and do it? Because if you didn't do it, it's disrespectful. So what's going to happen? After a while, they're going to get tired of being disrespected. They're not going to try to help you. So I'm glad that Leo mentioned that. You show them respect by doing what they tell you to do. Whatever Alfred asked me to do, Alfred's still on. He could correct me if I'm wrong. Ask Alfred if I ever told him no. Ask Alfred if I ever questioned anything he asked me to do or told me how to go about it and do it. Never. Because what Alfred has today is what I want tomorrow. So whatever Alfred has and I want, whatever he did to do it, I'm going to ask him how to go and do it. And I'm going to do it exactly how he told me, because he can only teach me one way, the only way he did it. So I'm glad that was mentioned today. So, man, I know Leo got off, right? I don't see him on here anymore. But again, Alfred, tell my man, thank you so much. Guys, look, if that right there wasn't the golden nuggets, I don't know what is. We are in a sales position. All he did is he built the report. He asked for a simple favor. They posted up. He's getting a ton of leads. He showed you a screenshot that he's sending them, the script, and he's getting them on the phone. When he got him on the phone, you see within 2 minutes, he was able to explain everything and show them value based on their needs. Guys, that was huge. So again, thank you to all the trainers tonight. Alfred, again, I know you're busy. Thank you. If you need to get off, you can. Again, my brother, always leading by example, you know, always keeping your word, man. I'm so proud of you, man. Like I tell people, I knew Alfred from a young age. To see him turn into the man, the leader, the entrepreneur, the success story that he is today. It's almost like, I don't want to say a proud dad, because, you know what I mean, obviously he's on a higher level than me, like a higher level than me, right? But just age-wise, to understand and know that I'm being mentored by someone that just turned 28, and it feels good just because, again, everything he's able to accomplish is everything that's written down in my goals and stuff that I'm gonna be able to accomplish. So I'm following and copying the right cat. Again, Alfred, thank you so much for everything, man. All right. Guys, look, man, I want to talk about the contest we got going on, right? Don't want to leave those out. It only takes 3 protection plans for you to have an opportunity to fly in a private jet with us. Also stay in a mansion retreat. I don't know, it might happen in Puerto Rico, hint, hint, right? And also a cash prize, right? So we have first place, second place, and third place. Make sure you guys go out there, take full advantage of it. It ends on Saturday, November 14 at 3 a.m., technically Sunday morning, right? So keep sending me those screenshots. You know, the ones that pre-qualify, keep sending me those screenshots. Another thing is, make sure tomorrow, Ms. Vija Quinones is going to put it out there. I think it's going to be 8 or maybe 9 o'clock. We have the client overview. Start plugging your clients into that overview so they can see the value, and even potential clients, get them on that overview. Let them see the actual value. This is going to help us with with our chargebacks. This is going to help us with retention big time. And then tomorrow is the GoPro, right? The recruiting. So if you guys didn't sign up for that, make sure you take the time to sign up. That is huge. Again, anytime you or any of your agents attend an event like this, I'm telling you, the momentum that's created is ridiculous. And following up, another GoPro event, which is the huge GoPro event, a small investment, about $300 is well worth it. Ask Rob Santiago about it, right? But again, that's in December. But you have to get the tickets now because we're going under Alfred, and I'm telling you, it's going to max out sometime soon. All right. So, man, guys, that was it. But I don't know about you guys, but if you guys ain't hyped up from after listening to Anthony Kelly, after listening to Alfred Nixon, after listening to Leo, who just made $288,000 in 5 months, my man took $288 and turned it to $288,000. And some of you guys are complaining and wondering why financially you're not where you want to be. Is because you ain't out there creating these leads. It's because you're not out there keeping it simple. You're overthinking and you're overworking. So let's go back to the fundamentals. Let's keep it very simple. Edification. And one more thing I want to throw in there that I've seen on my notes. The invitation closed the deal, not the presentation. So it's up to you to master how to invite someone, because technically you're really closing the deal at that moment and not knowing it. We're just going to go ahead and provide them the information for them to make the decision. But the invitation is actually the close, not the presentation. All right. All right, Team Relentless, man. I'm so excited. Let's kill it. This is the last week of the 4 week. Let's finish strong. Guys, we're still shooting for this level 4. Hopefully I can get everybody to go out there, follow up on the decline list, decline report, and just go out there and gain new business. Regardless, guys, I'm super proud of you guys. Super happy. I'm super blessed to be in the position I am. And because of you guys, this is all happening. Thank you so much. Take care. Have a blessed and productive weekday. Have a blessed and productive weekend. Have a blessed and productive entire life. Let's get it.